with us. Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc. Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you now. So I was trying to ensure that we are back live.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome back everyone to the second part of this live workshop. Hope you had a good time in your breakout rooms. For the content, I listened in for some part of the meeting. So in the order in which we went in, which was product first, content second, and project third, please product team, please go ahead and share your screen. You have 5 minutes to present. Then the product mentor is going to then assess your work and also give feedback. And yeah, in that order. So products, you have the next 2 minutes to share your screen. And you have the next 2 minutes to start sharing your screen. So by 5:27, your time is up. So 2 minutes to set up your screen, 5 minutes for you to present what you have. Please go ahead.
The person presenting for product, can you please use the raise hand button? He's accepting form. He's accepting. Francis, refresh the page, please. The form is open. Please refresh your page. No. Who is presenting for product, please? We are working with time. Product students, who is presenting for you guys? Please use the raise hand button. Okay. Doing Sola, you can go ahead, share your screen. You already unmute yourself. So you can share your screen now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so, well, about the screen, I'm representing the product group. Unfortunately, our scribe for the first half of the meeting is not here. And he has, okay, he's here. One sec. No, he's not here. And he has most of the things we said for the first half, which is basically about the VCAR. But I could just talk about that, but I captured the other second half of the meeting. So I don't have anything to share for the first half with regards to document. Excuse me, please. Yeah, so if I'm to share anything, this is what I will be sharing, which is, yeah, the documentation we don't have. So if you can see my screen, the first 15 minutes was about the VCAR concept and how it affects the smart home hub market. And we discussed the concept, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And we identified things like technology, advancement, as one of the issues we'll battle with for volatility. Yes, it's a technology market, the smart home hub market, and what our competitors are doing, right? They are also moving very fast with technology, right? So we'll have that challenge, and the market is uncertain, even with the war going on right now between Israel and Iran. So we stated in our group that if China joins that war, which we know that they are a major hub for technology, we could have things like issues like shortage in supplies. So we could have supply chain shortage, maybe cheap supply that could affect our market. So this will not help us to plan properly. We also identified the C, which is complexity. Yes, because it's a smart home hub device that we're building, different moving parts, the parts of the cloud, the internet, the hardware, the software. So we need to manage all of that. So that's how the C applies to us. And the A, ambiguity in demand. Customers sometimes don't know what they need. And our strategy to navigate this challenge, like we identify in our group, is one, to have the agile methodology mindset, which involves feedback, reiteration, going back and forth, to follow the data, the market data, to follow the trend, to follow what the customers are saying, and to quickly adapt to change. That's what we discussed here for the first 15 minutes. Thank you. So let me just share my screen for the last one. The question was on, one sec, next. We're able to do, also the question was on the next 20 minutes about the agile methodology, agile principles that will benefit Smart Home Hub, and we should create a plan to implement agile principles, and how will Scrum framework be applied to the Smart Home project, and giving a roadmap and our priorities. So let me just briefly share my screen and talk about it in 1 minute. What do I have here? Okay, so this was what we were able to put down. We said that for the agile principles, we'll be defining the agile practice for the delivery phase, because we are at the last development stage. So we're prioritizing our backlog. We'll be adopting all the agile ceremonies to drive focus. So our sprint will not be more than 2 weeks. We will adopt, testing and feedback loops, and we go back and forth. So in terms of priorities and roadmap, so we prioritize 2 features: voice assistant integration from our research.
Hello, Daniela, can you hear us?
I'm sorry, my sound fell into something. So voice assistant integration and user-friendly setup, because that's the eventual thing. Our users should be able to use it properly, right? And our roadmap. So in the first sprint, we focus on the voice integration. In the third and fourth sprint, we focus on the friendly setup. And then after that, we fix bug, we look at the performance, we test it and all of that. And then we focus on the launch, pre-launch and market readiness. So because we have 3 months for all of this. So eventually the first 2 months will be for fine-tuning the development, and then we launch, we go to market. So we develop our strategy, we work with the marketing team on what to communicate and plan this roadmap together. That's what we were able to do. We're not able to attempt other questions. And of course, I must say that we had technology challenge. Members were in and out because of network. So apparently we were about 3 eventually, or 2 that participated actively on this. Thank you.
All right.
Because of
Okay.
network challenge.
All right, thank you. So, the facilitator is still here.
Hi, Kingsley. Yes, I'm here.
All right, over to you.
Okay. All right. So, my feedback would be, like Doyin rightfully said, this week there was a bit of challenge. There wasn't as much collaboration as we had last week. We had members, coming in and out. So I'd just like to ask that, every Sunday when you have these community meetings, you try as much as possible to ensure that you have stable internet. If you're going to have to use, another person's phone or something, just have to have back up your backup basically. Because in the real world, you really can't always say, oh, I have network challenge, or you have a pitch you need to give to, your customer. If you're having network challenge for the first 30 minutes of the meeting, it's very much excusable. But continuously, you can't find a solution to it. Nobody is going to give you, that leeway. You're going to miss that chance. Some people will tell you, oh, I was lucky to land that project. I was lucky the client liked my work. There's nothing like luck in business. Everything is preparation, down to your presentation slides, to your network, to the way you're going to speak. Everything is preparation. So I'm talking to the other team members that weren't able to, actively contribute. You can also give them feedback when they join in or when you speak in your group. You have to be able to, you have to be able to find an alternative, no matter what it is. Just look for an alternative. If you can't join, send an email, send your points, anything you need to do, just ensure that your voice is heard or read or something. So that's the first feedback with regards to the lower participation this week. Then, yeah, secondly, I mean, I think I interacted with Doyin at the beginning, when you were talking about the VUCA concept. And yes, you need to understand that the world we are in right now, it's a highly digital world. So almost all technological products are going to face, the VUCA concept. They'll tell you, what are you selling? It's not different from anybody else's work. So what's your own unique selling point? I'm telling you, oh, come and use my bank app, come and use my application. There are 1,001 applications that will do the same thing. So that's what, customers will tell you. So that's where the whole concept of VUCA comes in. How do you now make your own product, how do you make it stand out? How do you ensure that whatever complexity customers are facing, issues they're having with adaptability, whatever it is, pricing, all their realistic problems, you try and look for a way to ensure that your own product will stand out. That's what I look at VUCA as in the workspace. Like, okay, how do I ensure that no matter how terrible economic factors are, no matter how saturated the market is, people still want to use my product? Yes, I'm selling the same bread, I'm selling the same tea as my competitor, but something needs to keep bringing them to my own product, because it could be just one thing. It could be as simple as the fact that on my smart home platform, no matter what, even when there isn't network, no matter where I am, I might be in the village or I might be in the city, it works. It doesn't give me an issue. It might be a situation where my home camera is able to work even across border. I could be in America, I'm able to still see, what's going on in my home. It could be anything. It could be just something different, something that you tweak, right? That makes your own product to stand out. And then I liked the way you broke down all of the challenges, right? And your strategies to mitigate these challenges. That was very insightful as well. Very well done. And with regards to the Agile framework, I would say maybe you look for more things to add. I know time was against your, it was a very voluminous product, yes, but on your own or later on in your other meetings, you try and add more things to what are the other concepts that you can apply, right? With regards to the Agile principles. I'm trying to think of something. For example, I can't remember what I'm doing. Please, can you tell me what you guys did what you guys discussed with regards to the agile principles. And then I'll just try and add more to it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, I wanted to reiterate what you did with regards to the agile principles. So we'll walk through it together. And then you just add a
Okay,
few
we
more
said,
points.
okay, so we talked about, we said we're going to redefine agile practices for this last stage, which include reprioritizing the backlog. Oh God,
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
The product backlog, yeah.
And then, yes, the product backlog. And then we're going to also reaffirm the vision of the product. And then we are also going to
Was this for
use
the
the agile
Scrum or
ceremonies
the
to
agile
focus.
principle? Was this for the Scrum or the agile principle? Because yes, this is sounding
No,
more
I'm
like
talking
the
about
Scrum.
agile principle.
Okay. So now I feel like
Okay,
those points
we're
speak
going
more to
to,
the Scrum part of the question. You know, there was the second part that
okay,
speaks to the Scrum roles for the project. So
okay,
if you're going to be talking more specifically about the product backlog and all of that, that's speaking more to the product, to the Scrum
okay,
methodology, right? Those are terminologies you use in
yeah,
Scrum.
for Scrum.
Yes. So if it is for the agile principles, right? How do you apply these? You'd say, okay, what has the team done? This is the later stage of the business or of the project. So what has the team done with regards to customer feedback, customer satisfaction? So all of the other sprints that has happened, right? What was the feedback? What were the results of the demo sessions? With regards to
Okay.
how were these things now applied in the next sprint? How was it used to improve on what we were going to deliver as the MVP? And then you can
Hello.
also welcome change. Sorry?
Sekinat, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. It's because I'm calling your attention because of time.
Okay, then I'll just round up then. So you can also welcome change. What are the change requirements? How often do you need to tweak the software? What were the tweaks you needed to do? So I feel like the question with regards to the agile principle and the one that speaks to the Scrum as well with regards to the trying to remember your question, the priorities, yeah. All
Yeah.
of that, they're kind of intertwined. The answer is going to be a bit intertwined. So that's
Okay.
as much as we can say these principles in the workplace, you don't really use them. You don't really say them, you use them, but you just need to know how to blend everything together to make it make sense. So in general, you still have a lot of work to do, but I feel like the base is there, and I appreciated some of the discussions you had with Antonia, you and Doi, and I think Ashcroft was able to join in as well later on. So the three of you did something, you have something going on. And lastly, with regards to the prioritization, your Moscow prioritization, right? The must have,
Yeah.
could have, and all of that. Yeah, that's also a part of the Scrum part of the question. You need to be able to specifically define the high level requirements, low level requirements, and know that whatever it is that has been defined in the product vision of your smart home project is what the developers would do. So that's prioritization. You can't just say, oh, I know you guys were assuming that the two parts that you mentioned are what is left for the last part, but in general, you need to look at the project as a whole. Speak about the ones that have been done and were they really a must have, should have, could have, or won't have. So you look at all of that as well. So
Okay.
yes, you have a good base and you have something to flesh out as you go ahead. So yeah, that's for the sake of time, because if we keep talking, we probably will use another 1 hour. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Shekina. Thank you, Dainsolo. So, the next group, think content, they went in before projects. Please, who is presenting for
Yes, they
content?
did.
Content, please identify yourself. Use raise hand button, please. While waiting for that, the person presenting for project, please also kindly identify yourself so that we're already behind time. This is 5:40. Can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself? So she can't unmute herself. I can't see the button here. Okay, I don't have the control. Doc, please, can you see if she can mute herself? Doc, can you hear me? Hello, Doc, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I think I don't know if she can unmute herself. I don't have control to confirm that.
Let me make you the host maybe, so that you have host privileges. I think she can unmute herself actually. Just give me a minute, Hensley. I'm looking for you. So you are co-hosts, Hensley. I think anybody can unmute themselves. There's no restriction.
That unmute now.
Yeah.
She's on now. You can go ahead, Anastasia.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good
The
evening.
content. So when we went into our breakout rooms, we took just a minute to introduce ourselves and get to know each other. And then we went on straight to our scenario, which was given to us. We said that Dr. Nisara, as a business owner, wants to create a program for literate African youths who need workplace skills. So Dr. Nisara has employed a new content creator who has been struggling with making the right content, determining the right platform for specific content, and distributing the content at the right time. So our scenario is to create a persona to describe the ideal person for her to carry on this content issue. So we're able to work together to give this prompt to ChatGPT. So our prompt says create a persona for an online course that will teach workplace skills to help fill lack of workplace among literate African youth. So say generate the ideal questions that will aid marketing research to ensure the course appeals to ideal audience. When we start creating marketing contents, so give us as many as possible questions to include in the Google form, covering the demographics, psychographics, and behaviors. So yeah, the questions, a lot of questions was given, but we're able to select these ones which we aimed more important. For demographics, we choose the age, gender, and of course, the level of education, which is important for our work. And then in the psychographic, we're able to take this one, what is your main goal and ambition for your career? What workplace skills do you think are missing or you need more training in? So these few questions aided us to come to be able to attend to the question number 2, which is the ideal content topics and themes. So on this, we were able to give the prompts to ChatGPT, and then moved us around and we got what we want. I don't know if you want me to be reading this because I know time is not on our side, but I know these are the things, the major things that they gave us. So these are the pure ones we selected because the first one was a lot of them. So these are the ones we selected, and then it brought us to this. And when we got to the third scenario, which we said the types that we need to do, say, categorize the content topics above into the various stages of the marketing funnel. So here are the 3 categories, or I say myself, because we start with the pre-awareness. So the content topics that we're able to select here. So number 1, say the blog. For the pre-awareness stage, you have to make them know what actually is up. Say 5 signs you are not prepared for the job market in Africa. So this is going to be a blog. So short videos. Did you know unemployment among youth is rising? Here is why. So stuff like this, when they go through it, they will be eager to come to us and then know more about what we have to offer. So also said this, number 7 says social media poll. Where do you look for job? Job boards or networks? So with all this, we're able to at least get the attention to what you are doing. And then the final one, the final question is, it's a blog question. I say, your future is waiting. Get started today with our course. So this is the analysis of what we're able to do. And they will know that with this right content, whoever it is, if he follows us, will actually get that skill and get prepared for the job. And I think we can make a good content for Dr. Adenisora in her company. Thank you. Hello?
All right, thank you, Anastasia. So I'm bringing up facilitator to give her feedback. Doc, Aye.
Thank you very much, Anastasia, for that feedback, for that presentation rather, and here will be my feedback. So can you please scroll up on your screen first to the point where you first had customer, as in describe the ideal person you are speaking with. So one of the first things I want you to understand is you must imagine me like, imagine someone wants to hire you as a content strategist, and you go into a meeting, you have a 5 minutes presentation to convince the person to hire you. I don't need you I need you presenting it to me like a content strategist who wants to work on my project. This is a pitch for you. So I need you to give me a summary that signifies that, because please realize that this project is supposed to be a simulation. Like, think about it like you should be hired as a content creator. If a content creator, content strategist, freelancer, whatever, comes to me and I say, oh, wow, I see your content. You said you wanted to enroll 500 students in this thing. Can you let me just talk you through what will be my plan to get you this 500? That is how it is a pitch. So if I were to be you in your situation, all this psychographic, that is your homework inside. As in, how do I explain it? It is your internal homework. I expect you to come here with a pitch perfect, your ideal audience first, as in I have looked through the course, the solution you want to send. I would see that the ideal person that needs your program are 3 categories of people. The first category will be an early career professional who have just started a career, and I will expect you to describe them. These people may live in, this is where I imagine that they live across Africa, and giving your courses this thing, they live across Africa. They are between ages 20 to 29, this thing and this thing. The second category of people I would imagine will need this workplace fundamental skills program are recent graduates in yada. And why would they need this? You need to show me you have an in-depth understanding of my business and who you are going to sell my market to. Yeah. One of the operational words that is there is content marketing. Content marketing, meaning how will the content you are going to create help me market my brand? So I don't need you coming here. Like I said, you are being hired as a content strategist. You should be presenting this to me like, oh, what you just presented to me, if you were to, like somebody was trying, you are trying to pitch for this thing, will this sell the person? This won't sell the person. So even the approach of the presenting it to me was, so again, please, everybody in this meeting, beyond content, you must be able to translate your knowledge into real work environment. And I kept emphasizing it, you are a content strategist. I don't want to know that you know how to do WBS. I don't want to I don't want to know that you understand the knowledge part. I need you to translate it into work. Imagine yourself as a new product manager. Wow, the person. Imagine yourself as a new content person that wants to get hired. Wow, the person. If somebody were to come to my interview and say psychography, I'll just be like, okay, you're trying to regurgitate what you learned in school to me. I need you to think about it like this is work.
Okay.
And remove all the shaft and give me the meat quickly. First thing. Now, in the second thing, you can please scroll down and everything. So the idea of you being a content strategist and you presenting to the person that wants to hire you is so that the person knows you did your research and you understand the person you want to sell to. That is the idea of me asking you to create a customer persona for my business. I need to understand that you even know the person you want to be creating the content for. Let me say so, for instance, and somebody say, oh, doc, as I'm having challenges in my business, oh, this is my content people, they're not even doing well. They come with all that stuff. I'll be like, okay, what do you sell? Oh, they say they sell meats. They sell meats. They do cow sharing. Think as in, if I was a contractor and somebody say, oh, you do cow sharing, and I've been trying to sell online, I'm not selling this one, that one, this. I say, oh, okay, cow sharing. The question I'll probably be asking, who has bought from me before in the past? With the people that have done repeating customers, who are they? Did I go online, go and do research that this is my business, this is this thing? Who is an ideal person that will buy my cow sharing? Do you understand? Then I create it based on, okay, an average person will probably be an early career woman who is either living alone or a new mother who doesn't have time to go to the market, the working class person. That is how you use the information of your knowledge to then create a customer persona. So by the time I'm coming back and I'm like, okay, here's the plan we're going to do. First, I need you to understand that the kind of customers you are targeting is not your ideal audience. Here are two different personas of people that will buy your distance. The first people are people, single ladies who are, working in their career. They don't have family, they don't have anything yet, but still they are, boss babes. They want to eat meat, but they don't want to enter market. I said they are between the ages of 21 to 25. They live in Lekki, Ikoyi. That is this whole idea of persona. So whenever we are going to set up ads or we're going to create content, we will ensure that it is targeted towards people in that location. We will know that we are saying things. No, that is the whole idea of customer persona. Not all this psychographic infographic. That information was so that you people understand all the nitty-gritty in the knowledge course.
Okay.
You won't speak that language to me when I want to hire you. Now, to the content, kind of content I need you to create for the different this thing. That question 2 and question 3 are like an intertwined this thing. I said create content for people at different stages of the marketing funnel, and then you now categorize your content and talk to me through this thing. So I like the topics. Please scroll down. You are going up. Scroll back down to this thing. The content. This thing. Content type. Say as in this. I said content topic. This I use. And I was looking at say pre-awareness. I was looking at okay, what is the second stage? I don't know if you got to that point where you identify the second stage of the content. So I was looking to see whether it is a table or it is a whatever. Like I was looking to see like okay, awareness level, consideration level, and decision-making level. I'm not sure I saw that while you were presenting. Maybe, okay, I've seen the consideration this thing now. Now, okay, great, I've seen it. As come back down, I think I've seen the consideration level now. Fantastic. So you've categorized it into 3 different things. What I liked was the fact that your topics resonated with me. And one more thing that you also did was you spread it in formats. Like you also indicated that this one will go on a blog post, this one will go on this, especially your awareness topics. I really, really liked it. I also like these questions, this 7, where do you look for jobs? Like a poll, that's to drive engagement. So I like that the kind of content calendar you created had a mix of various content formats. Like the number 7 is to drive engagement. It's a poll, you're asking questions. You are also saying blog, you create video. So I like the mix of your content. In terms of the 30, it had all the elements it was supposed to have. It also resonated with me in terms of, your digital presence, how it boosts your appeal to recruiters. This thing, so again, there are some of those things that then started becoming it fell flat. So the ones that were at the awareness stage didn't fall flat. But when I started to look at the ones that now went to seven no, that one that about 7 top skills in South Africa, I'm then looking at, okay, if you identified your customer persona well, are you now trying to tell me that workplace skills that is across Africa, as in you are maybe you in your customer persona identification, they say my customers can be across Africa, but I'm now seeing a topic that is saying 7 something something in South Africa. There is a disconnect. That is
Yes,
why,
yes.
as a content creator, it is important that when you use ChatGPT to generate content, tailor it, please. There
Yes,
is
sir.
nothing as disappointing as carrying a ChatGPT copy and dump for your boss or for the person that's going to hire you. Because it is small, small things like this. It shows me that, okay, you did customer persona, say my entire this thing is Africa, but you are coming to give me content topic that is saying 7 top skills in South Africa. Please, how does that even work? Do you get that kind of thing? It shows me you didn't pay attention to, you didn't marry it. That is what I am saying. So I always tell people, even people on my team, please use ChatGPT to work, use AI to work, but please show what's it called? Show critical thinking in the use of AI. Show critical thinking, tailor it to you so that the person, I know the funny thing is it can really fall flat because the person, even the work you have done well before, the person starts to question it, like to say, wait, oh, let me even go back to the first one I said was good. If this is AI, if this had no, they will say, if this had no initiative, maybe I was quick to judge them. Let me go back. They start to re-scrutinize the work that they've even said was good. That is how some all this, obvious ChatGPT kind of stuff presentation may look like. But aside that, I like that you were able to categorize, although you may not have talked about the idea. As in, I told you that I want a topic and I want a justification for the topic, meaning why is this particular topic there? That was not completed, but I think generally, and I also like your approach in your room. You had more coordination than the last time. So let me stop there so that the project people can then present. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll do better next time.
Yeah, thank you, Doc, for the explanation and the clarity, especially around the use of ChatGPT. Thank you.
Well, all right. Thank you, Doc. So we're moving to the next group, project management. So Bartholomew, I can see your hand raised up, so you can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
And
Good
since I can
evening,
stop
Doctor.
sharing.
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm in the project management group, and let me share my screen. Wow.
Hello, Bartholomew, are you facing any challenges?
Yes, I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know if you can see.
No, you are not sharing screen yet.
Okay, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
I can hear you, sir.
Have you seen where to share your screen?
That's what I was trying to do
Are you on your desktop or your mobile phone?
on my desktop.
All right. Hover your screen below. You see a series of icons. The one
Yeah, I
with.
see the share. It's what I click. So
So what is it saying?
I click on it. I'm checking for the item.
All right.
Breakdown structure. Okay. Please, can you see my screen? Please, can you see my
Yes, we
screen?
can see your screen. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. The project management group were given the task of coming out with a web breakdown structure for the webinar project on the digital skill for the modern workplace. And as we put our head together, this is the web breakdown structure that we came out with. The other lady who worked on the diagram said he was finding it hard to copy, so she couldn't give it. So the timeline and the web package I assigned is what I get here to present. The item 1.0 is on the planning. On the planning, we have this stakeholder management, how we manage, how to engage stakeholder. And we have 3 days, and then project planning, the entire project, we have the 4 days. They have content development and speaker coordination. Under it, which we have speaker management and then content preparation. Then we have the marketing and registration, which we have promotional materials, and then social media launch campaign. And then we have the participant registration. And then item 4, we have technical setup and dry run. That's selecting of the webinar tools and platform, which is 2 days, and conduct full dry run. And they have the webinar execution, which is welcome introduction of the guests and participant, and then speaker presentation, and then live question and answer section. And we have post-webinar activity, which sending of recording and slides to the participant, distribution of feedback form, analysis of the feedback, and then preparation of the final project reports. And we also prepare the risk register, how risk will be reported. That is on the register. We have the low attendance as the first item, and we categorize based on the impact and the likelihood and the mitigation strategy. And we have the speaker cancellation, the tech failure during webinar, poor internet connection, low engagement during section, and miscommunication with team. And then we have our communication plan. Communication with the stakeholders, like project team. We choose the type of communication that is appropriate is the progress update. And then it will be communicated weekly. And the channel of communication, we choose email, Slack. And then for the speaker, coordination and guidelines as needed, also email and the voice call. And then for attendees, we have the promotional content and reminders, which is 3 times within the period for executing the webinar project. And we use email and social media platform. And then we have the all stakeholder final agenda and access link. That one, after the webinar, we'll share the access link to everyone. That is just one time. And then we have attendees. Also, we send thank you note to them and the feedback form in order to correct the data for analysis. And that is all we have here as our work breakdown structure. And then the project schedule, I have it here. Let me see how I'll be able to share the project schedule as well. Please, I can stop this before I share it. Hello, sir.
I didn't get you. What did you say?
I'm talking about the project schedule. I want to share the project schedule as well because it's part of the task and then the deliverable we're supposed to
Go ahead.
produce.
Go ahead. Just quickly round it up. So your facilitator will take over. Go ahead.
Yeah. The project schedule. Okay. Okay. Please, can you see it? Please,
Yeah,
can you see
yeah. Go ahead.
with the heading digital skill webinar project schedule? Yeah. in our timeline, we have the project kickoff from July 1st to July 18th. No, this is not exactly what I wanted. Please, just a moment. This is not what I want to share. Share. I have the update. Please, can you see this one for me?
Yeah, go ahead. You can see your screen.
That's like what I'll run an update. Please, can you see? Please. Okay, we
Yeah.
have the initiation and planning, where we have the stakeholder engagement with a duration of 3 days from the July 1st to July 3rd. And then it's assigned to Bartholomew Appiah and Konadu Yeboah, Naomi Konadu Yeboah. And then we have the project planning, which is 4 days from July 4th to July 9th, because it's dependent on the stakeholder engagement, and it's assigned to this participant in our group. And under content development and speaker coordination, we have the speaker management, which is 1 day. It's assigned to Ephraim. And then we have content preparation, which is 5 days from July 10th to July 16th. It's assigned to Jamari Lazarus. And then we have the marketing and registration. Under we have promotional materials, which is 2 days from July 10th to July 11th, and it's assigned to Mavis Villecon. They have social media campaign launch. Also, from July 14th to July 16th, it's assigned to Neti. Then under technical setup, we have selection of webinar platform and tools. 2 days is assigned to Chiamaka Igbe Naomi Konadu Yeboah. And we have the testing of the platform and conducting of dry run from July 14th to July 15th. We also assigned to Akina the Sakila, and the name is hard for me to pronounce, sir. And then we have the webinar execution, which is the welcoming and introduction is 1 day, the speaker presentation 1 day, and question answer 1 day, or in 1 day. And then we pick up from July 16th and end in the same July 16th. Then we come to post webinar event, which we have sending and recording of the slide, which is 1 day, distribution and correction of feedback, which is 1 day, analysis of feedback 1 day, and final project report. And these are assigned to the participant Naomi Yeboah, Chiamaka Igbe, Bartholomew Appiah, and this. And that is what we actually produce with our work breakdown structure, communication plan, risk register, and the project schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, Bartholomew. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oyekomi, go ahead now.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kingsley. Well done to the project team. I mean, the first thing I was going to ask when I was looking at your WBS was, where is your Gantt chart? You know, showing your project schedule. Because a layman, they're seeing that document, we want to calculate the number of days. I mean, put in mind that you have 30 days, to execute this webinar, right? So.
Yes, sir.
But seeing this project schedule also give it a brilliant light, and I want to commend the team, for putting this together, and then coordination you put. Just as a reminder, you definitely understand that the reason for a work breakdown structure is such that it helps you to be able to break down the tasks, to smaller work packages. for
Yes.
you to be able to effectively allocate resources, allocate time, to your work packages, right? So what I would have expected from the first thing you do, the work breakdown structure should be clear, I mean, just like you did the planning, I mean, in different packages. And then from there, you then go on to your project schedule. Your schedule is to help you allocate resources, allocate time, allocate costs. One thing I want to call out, I mean, great, brilliant work so far. Yeah, one thing I really want to call out here is I'm not seeing the dependencies, and those
Uh,
are really important, right? Your
the dependencies are here.
dependency is lacking here, which is very, very important.
The
It helps to know
dependencies are here.
which tax cannot start, until one is completed. I mean, just imagine you're designing a website or something, or building a website. You first define your requirements, and you design your mockups. Maybe say five days. Define requirements, say 3 days. Develop front end, develop your back end. Definitely, you know that you can't test the website until you have done your development. Do you understand? So your schedule needs to show your dependencies. What is depending on what? I don't know if you get.
Okay.
So
Yes,
that's one thing that is missing here, in your project schedule, which has to be fixed. But generally to say, I mean, I think this is quite good. It could get better and get improved, using the tools that you use, I mean, great enough. It just shows across board, your scheduling, and then assigning tasks, assigning resources, people resources to who does what is also a great one to be able to have a see-through, the task. So generally, I think this is good. Please ensure the dependencies are also highlighted in your project schedule. That's what is quite missing here. If I would add a bit, to your VIX register, I'm looking at the document now. I mean, the VIX register that you did. So if you can put that on the screen, it'd be good. So great. Identifying the risks that you have, the impact, the likelihood, and then the mitigation strategies. You could want to maybe make it a little smarter, by not just generalizing, for example, start early promotion, leverage partners. You might want to make it specific. When are you going to do that? Do you understand how I mean?
okay, sir.
You want to make it specific, you want to put numbers to it, you want to put action items to it, because risks, the strategies to mitigate the risks are critical, for the risks to boomerang, eventually happen. It's great that you have identified it, and then you did your evaluation of the risks, the likelihood, the impact, but the strategies has to be specific, as to what and when, what will be done. So generally, I think this is good. The dependencies, like I called out, are critical, in your project schedule that you need to pay attention to. Well done to the project thing.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Komi. Thank you, everyone. Bartholomew, you might want to check the comment section. You have a message there from Doing Solar. So,
Okay,
Doctor, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much to our facilitators. So please, there is a question. Kingsley, could you read out the question? So let's quickly take a few questions from the Google Documents. Could you please read out the question from my own end from the Google Documents? And if there are questions from our other facilitators or mentors too, let's take a few questions from the Google form, then we can round off the meeting. Kingsley, please read out my own question and I can answer it. So I think somebody filled the Google form. Kingsley, are you on it?
Yeah, yeah. I want to share my screen as well so that.
Okay.
All right. So here is the question. The question is from Adeze Hope Onibu. She said, "Good evening, Doc. I have gained so much. I've gained so much while on this course. You are an amazing coach and mentor. Thanks for taking out time to put this out for people like me. However, I have some few questions. Firstly, in the first lesson in Module 4, LinkedIn articles, we were advised to join the GOP if we want to be a brand builder and a content writer for LinkedIn articles. My question is, since GOP is for experienced professionals, do we qualify for GOP without experience? As I would like to enroll after graduation. That's the first question. Then secondly, she said, what skill or profession under this particular technical skill will qualify for GOP? Then lastly, what is the cost of losing thousands of followers on platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, etc.? Because people always say, please, I just lost my followers. Kindly refer us to rebuild. It is discouraging, but why do this happen even with your account fully secured? So I look forward to your reply. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll answer one by one. I have gained so much. So firstly, the first lesson Module 4 LinkedIn article said we advise to join the GOP if you want to be a brand. So there are two major things that is on that GOP. There's one on how to write articles that you can use to position. Then there's the brand, building a personal brand, meaning writing your profile, optimizing your platform. Then the third part is positioning. That's why it's called PPP. So what I taught you on the content course is how to write articles. So let's say, for instance, somebody is hiring you, like you have already done your LinkedIn optimization, brand building. Like there are some people on the GOP, professionals are taking GOP right now in my community, that what they need is somebody that understands how to write LinkedIn article, LinkedIn content for them, because they don't have time. Their brand is already built. They've used my framework to build the brand, their this thing. So when you start putting out articles on their behalf, they are not like, their brand is ready to receive the visitors. So what they don't have the capacity to do is to put out the content. Same thing with, I used to have a subordinate in school. We used to write 4 articles per month way back 5-7 years ago for a brand, and they'll pay us 70K. So basically this content course covers that part where you can position yourself as a content creator for LinkedIn pages or personal brands. Do you understand? But you cannot position yourself as a LinkedIn, like let me say, a personal brand builder, or you cannot like position yourself as a LinkedIn optimization expert, because that part is not taught on this LinkedIn on this content creation course. So the content that you need to create for LinkedIn was taught on the content course. But I'm now saying, if what you want to do is beyond saying, oh, I want to be a content creator, I want to be able to do what I currently do. Just that I don't do it again one-on-one. There was a time I used to do, let me say, build like as a service, right? So I've had people take GOP without having experience, but they take GOP because, which takes us to question 2, because they want to be able to render it as a service. Someone like Evie taught the product this thing when she came on my program in 2021, right? After she learned, she implemented and it worked for her. What she did, she rendered it as a service to 2 of her friends, collected to $200 as a whole service. Let me build your LinkedIn this thing, help you optimize it, and you can continue positioning you. Do you understand? She rendered it as a service. So for people like that, if somebody say, oh, I want to join GOP so that I can learn how to help busy professionals optimize their platform and do, that is you learning it as a hustle. Do you understand? Not you learning it as someone who wants to use it for themselves. So for you, if you learn it and go and use it to support, what are they calling it? To go and use it to render as a service for busy professionals, it would work. The question is, if you yourself don't have experience and you say you want to use it for yourself, it cannot work, because of what I teach in the framework of GOP. You will need the person to have experience, insights that you can then use. So if you listen to your content course very well, you realize that is the same thing I thought when I was teaching how to write the article. You need to be using the experience of the person, which as like someone who is just a newbie, you don't have experience, you can't manufacture it. It's that simple. So that is why I say people who don't have experience shouldn't join my GOP. But the caveat is, if you're an inexperienced person who wants to use it as a service to render to another person who is experienced, you can join. But you will know that you are learning it so that you know how to use it for an experienced person. Please take note of that. Now, secondly, what skill or profession under this particular technical skill is qualified for GOP? See, I've worked with people 27 career professions, like, job titles, 27 plus. So it doesn't even matter what career, whatever. It doesn't matter. And I've worked with people from 2 years of 3 years of experience to people with 32 plus years of experience. So the most important thing in GOP is, do you have the experience that we use to implement the framework? So the profession does not matter, as in doesn't matter. Abel that just won recently is from cybersecurity. Dr. Charles is from oil and gas engineer drilling expert. The other is from HSC. It doesn't even matter. Like, I've worked with HR, like name it, programming, tech dev, whatever, like just name it. So it is not about the specific profession. It is about you having experience in a specific profession. Israel is a project manager that came to do GOP link. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if you like, it doesn't matter your profession. So far you have experience in it, GOP will work for you. Now, lastly, losing followers. So what happens with followers is followers are your leads. You know, when you created this content thing today that you say you are doing content marketing, the whole essence of content marketing or releasing content on social media is so you can gather leads. And what are leads? Leads are people that are interested in what you offer. So at a content strategist, when you are saying, oh, put out content, it is so that people are interested, especially the awareness level of content, where you are making people aware that, you have this problem, and I might have your solution. So when people gather followers are leads. If you are not interested in somebody, why would you follow them? Do you understand? So it means that, I will use iTrend Africa as an example. In January, we lost our page. We did absolutely nothing. Nothing. Like nothing. The page just went down at over 14,000 followers. What does that tell you? It means that 14,000 people that may potentially buy from me, which are called leads. Leads are people that have interest in what you are selling. And with the right content and right marketing, they would eventually convert at different times. So when somebody loses their page, it means that you have lost 14,000 people that may potentially buy from you. So it means that the person has to use, imagine us building that page for 5 years, gathering people to follow us to be interested at this one day buy. We have used in the last 5 years, that page before it went down, the ads account associated with that page, we have spent nothing less than 20-something million on that ads account associated with that page, and it went down. It means that it's as if you just lost your 20-something million naira that you use in gathering that followers. That is that's the gravity. Because for us, we are thinking, okay, that follower, the one that will buy this month, the one that will buy next month, so which is why, as a content person, if you are doing content marketing for somebody, I would say, please ensure that beyond social media platform, because as a content strategist, most likely you will graduate into a digital marketer. Content strategists end up moving to become a full-blown digital marketer, right? So always ensure that you are not just gathering audience on a platform you don't have control over. iTrend Africa, even when our page went down at 14,000 plus, and average business, you see them rolling on the floor, be crying. I'm sure we didn't say it until recently this month. I'm sure that is the first time some of you edited our page went down last maybe two weeks ago. And why did we even ask people to go and start following us again? Is because we won MasterCard and people were searching about, is this a new brand? Their Instagram followers is about 100. Do you understand? That was the only reason we asked to say, oh, go and follow us, so people will not start thinking we were a scam. But aside that, we already have Skilled for Work page. I was in parallel that we were using for our brand. So for us, it was a case of brand building because we had been building other assets. On our email list, for instance, we have 70,000 plus people. So imagine if our page went down without having an email list that we could still communicate and sell to as leads. It would have had great impact on our revenue. So whenever you see people crying, it is because potential people, they have been using contents to gather, using money to gather, using ads to gather. They just lost those clients and they will need to gather it back before they can start selling. So I hope that answers your questions.
All right, thank you, Doc. What was that name again? Okay, Adeze, I believe you're on this call. So please, any other person that wants to make use of this questionnaire form question, please, you can indicate in the group so that I'll send the form across to you. So come to the end of this meeting tonight, you will get the replay link on your announcement channel. What am I missing? Okay, your attendance is here. Please make sure you fill your attendance. So I wish you guys happy learning and have a very beautiful good evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much, Sekina and Oyekomi Bumi. Thank you. When we get questions on that questionnaire from product and project, Paisley will make sure to send it your way.
All
Bye,
right then.
everyone.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.